Hey, what's up people? Tony here and welcome back to TTBurger Game Reviews. And I know I didn't do any reviews last week. I do apologize there, and I apologize, and we're back with more reviews here, and we're on episode 97 here, just inching closer and closer to episode 100. And like I said, there's going to be a special video going on for episode 100, so be on the lookout for that when that comes. But right now, we're on episode 97. Now, let's talk about the video game character Gex. Now, those of you who first heard of Gex knew of him because he was the mascot for that awful video console called the 3DO, and I'm sure those of you who knew of the 3DO and were around when the 3DO system was around knew how much garbage that system was. I mean, the system was overpriced at $700 and basically did not have many good games on it, except for like a few of them, like their port of Wing Commander 3 and stuff like that. And of course, there was also Gex too, which was also on there as well. And Gex was actually the mascot for the 3DO, but because the 3DO console was so bad and stuff that the 3DO flopped, they decided, Crystal Dynamics, who made Gex, decided to release the Gex games. Well, the first game was only on the 3DO, to like other consoles like the PlayStation and Sega Saturn and stuff. And this is where we're gonna be here. This is another multi-part review, and all the parts leading up to episode 100 will be multi-part. Will be a multi-part for videos and stuff like that. So just getting it out there. But so we're talking about Gex here. This video will be divided up into 3 parts. Part 1, we're gonna look at Gex. Part 2, Gex Enter the Gecko, and Part 3, Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko. And before I get started here, I want to give a shout out to my friends JJBrother88 and JJJaguar89. JJJaguar89 was the one who introduced me to the Gex series and actually got me the first Gex game for my 10th birthday and stuff like that. On my birthday party the week before my birthday and stuff. So I gotta thank JJJaguar89 for introducing me to the Gex series stuff. That even though I got the second game first, I just want to put it that way. Yeah, I did not know that it was the first one till he introduced me to me and got me the first game for my birthday. So, and JJBrother88, because I told him I'd give him a shout out because I was telling him about these games. So they both give shout outs here, and I hope you guys are doing well and stuff. And just hope you guys are doing well, and hope you guys enjoy your shout outs. This will also be a response to YouTube user Nitro Rad's review on the games, and we're gonna start here with the original Gex here. The PlayStation version released in 1994, 1995, and this is the long box version. Also came in the jewel case here, but if you can find the long box version, it's a good collector item. Now, let's get started here, like we're talking about Gex here. The story of Gex starts off very simple, where he's sitting in his mansion watching TV, and pretty much Gex loves TV. He loves to watch a marathon of television as much and stuff like that. But a radioactive fly, he swallowed a radioactive fly, and there is a bad guy from the media dimension named Rez, who pulls Gex through his TV through an arm and just pulls him to the media dimension, and that's basically what the story is. And the media dimension is full of TV like era stuff, that basically like TV stuff like horror, jungle, and cartoon, and like kung fu and stuff like that and stuff. And basically that's what the story is. And it's up for Gex to collect the remotes to bring him back to his world, defeat Rez, and that's basically what the story is. The story is pretty simple and it works. I mean, back in the day we didn't have like super complex stories and stuff like that to make them good and stuff. But basically that's basically what this story is. Basically a simple story that gets the job done. I should also mention here that Gex is kind of a smart aleck, so that he's a hokey character, and of course I mentioned he's a gecko. I mentioned he's a gecko too, if I have to mention that. And he's a hokey gecko voiced by comedian Dana Good, or however you pronounce his last name. And he basically has his one-liners, especially with his main one-liner. It's tail time, and oh yeah, it's tail time. Let's get it on, lock and load, little lizard, and all that stuff. And he's a kooky character, and he works really well and stuff. But I'll talk about Gex's character later on in the voice acting, the sound department and stuff. But let's talk about the graphics now. This is a 2D side-scroller. The first Gex is a 2D side-scroller, so the graphics aren't going to be the most advanced-looking graphics in the world, but still, for its time, the graphics look really nice. I mean, there's no frame rate difference whatsoever. The backgrounds are really nice. The Gex character model looks fantastic, and the enemy models do look a little bland in parts. There's like reboots, a bunch of them, but still, it was, for its time, the game looked great, and the opening cutscene and stuff, and the CG cutscenes looked great as well. I mean, like, they basically at least screamed mid-90s and stuff like that, and they worked perfectly, and it worked really well. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about the graphics here, and let's go into the sound. Sound, I really enjoy. My main favorite thing about the sound is the voice sounding. Like I mentioned, comedian Dana Good voices Gex, and he is fantastic. You can't get a better voice for Gex like that. I mean, his one line, like I said, "Oh yeah, it's tail time. It's tail time. Lock and load, little lizard." And this place is better than 4th of July, Rick James place and stuff. And like ooh, trick or treat and stuff like that. And like saying like a bunch of one-liners and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people complain that he says his one-liners way too much and stuff like that, but I don't have a problem with them because I found them funny, and I feel like they fit Gex's character well. The music is awesome. I love the music. I mean, like, there's a big variety of music. Like, you got some like rock tunes and like some industrial-sounding tunes, like different tunes for each world you go into. Like there are 5 worlds. You have 4 of them, and then you must unlock the last one after you beat them all and stuff like that. And that's basically what it is. We'll get to that later on, but yeah, the music is pretty good. I like the music. Mainly the main theme is my favorite song in the game. I love the main theme. It's probably one of the best main themes in any video game ever released and stuff. And that's pretty much what I got to say about the sound. Now, getting the gameplay. Gameplay? I love the gameplay, but I got a few problems with it though, and I'm gonna take some points off for. But I'll get to the bad parts in a little bit. Now, like I mentioned before, the original Gex is a side-scroller platformer where you go around jumping, collecting fly coins, and mainly collecting remotes to like access new levels and stuff like that. You have 4 different worlds to choose from, plus the last one, Resopolis, when you beat the four worlds. Like you got Cemetery, which is basically a horror theme place, New Tuna, which is basically a cartoon, Jungle Out, which is basically like jungle themed stuff like George of the Jungle and stuff, and Kung Fu Vale, which is basically you know, it's basically like all those like Chinese, Japanese, Japanese movie worlds and stuff like that. And of course, the final Resopolis, which you can be accessed by unlocking all of them when you get enough remotes and stuff. Now, like I mentioned before, the main objective of the game is go around collecting remotes to unlock new levels and open more worlds and stuff like that. You're also collecting coins, fly coins to get extra lives and stuff like that, and power-ups which come in which are also flies as well. You have power-up, you have health power-ups. And power powers, you can get like you can shoot flames and ice and electricity and stuff like that for Gex and stuff, and it's basically what it is. And like most levels have 1 or 2 remotes, so be sure you collect all of them before you advance and stuff. And they also have the boss fights as well, and the boss fights are good. I mean, some of them are a bit tricky, but they're not tricky in the bad way. They're tricky in the good way because they offer challenge. And the gameplay is very challenging. Sometimes it can be a little difficult, but for the most part, the gameplay is very challenging, and like it can't get any better than that. I mean, especially with the gameplay, with it being very challenging here. But I will have some complaints here, and I gotta get to the complaints here. I have quite a few of them here, but they're not gonna take that many points off. First off, there's no save feature in the PlayStation version of Gex. The 3DO version had a save feature, but this one doesn't. Instead, it has a password system. And now there's nothing wrong with having a password system, it's just that this is back in the days like the 90s. Most games had a save system and a password system. Just having a password system here just seems kind of... just don't like it. I mean, the only way to get a level password or a world password is to find VHS tapes scattered throughout the levels, and once you get the VHS tape, you get a password. And be sure you write the password down because it changes each time and stuff. But that's not not my main problem. I'll get to my main problem in a little bit. I also have a problem with sometimes things with the buttons not responding at times on the controls. Like sometimes the controls will not respond properly. Like you'll end up not jumping at the right time, or you won't stop running and stuff. And the controls are a little unresponsive at times. And I just felt like the controls could have been better. Is the thing. The controls could have been better. And now I get to my main problem with the game. There's a cutoff range with the camera. In most side scrollers, when you duck, the camera goes down just to see if you're gonna die or not and stuff. But this game doesn't. And like sometimes when you're jumping from like a grade of height, you won't know if you'll be jumping safely on a platform or fall to your death. And this will happen a lot if you're not careful. I mean, it's happened to me a lot. It's happened to other people a lot, and it is a pain in the neck when it happens because it's a bunch of cheap deaths and stuff too, and it just really wish they would have been able to like have the camera like go down so the camera could have been better. But these problems don't affect the gameplay that much. I mean, like I said, yeah, there's no save feature and password system and like the control problems like that, but it's still a good game. I mean, it's still a very good game. Just like it could have been better. I mean, Gex is one of those games that if you want a game for your PlayStation and you couldn't play it on 3DO and stuff like that, now you can because they ported it. They ported it over to like, so it's like the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. And I think PC. Yeah, I think it was PC as well. A year later and stuff like that. So this is definitely worth it. I mean, Gex is definitely one of those games that's definitely gonna be worth it. So what's my final rating here? Well, pick this game up. Pick up Gex. It's a funny game. It's a great game. It's a great platformer. It has a 90s feel to it and stuff like that. And it will definitely be one of those things where you put on your shelf as a memorable game to have and stuff. Now, like I said, I have some complaints with the game where I will not be giving it a perfect 10, but I'll still be giving it a high score. I think the best score to give it is like an 8.5 out of 10. That's the best score I can give it because it could have been better. I mean, like with those problems they had, it could have been better. But I'm not gonna take that many points off. But it's still a great game. Pick it up if you can find it and start that, especially in the long box version. But that's pretty much it for this episode. Part 2, we're gonna look at the sequel, Gex Enter the Gecko, which was the first Gex game I ever played because I thought it was the first game. But we'll definitely talk more about that later. Stay tuned for part 2 where we look at Gex Enter the Gecko, and then for part 3 we'll look at Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko. So be on the lookout for that. That's all I gotta say. Stay tuned for part 2. This is Tony. Peace out and see you back in a little bit.